having the nozzle go down, go up, see if we can make some damage that way. Perfect, that's what I was looking for, guys. Thank you. Command from Division C, and report. Okay, you want 4 crews, 23 building. We're going to send them around the outside the building. We're going to be now you see people on Bronze.
Right there, Joe's for it.
Right? Ele comprou no Studio.
Yeah.
Like this.
Бабуля, вот тут стол до барьера.
Just starting to blow out here a little bit.
I saw it. That's what brought me over.
Hey.
Early on, since you were here, what's your name, first of all, sir?
My name's Matthew Wagner. I'm a taxi driver. I was just driving there, and I saw as it began, and it started like kind of over here, in one like complex. And then like I was watching for a while, and then I was walking around the buildings, just checking it out and just getting a view. And now it seems like they're still fighting it. They're still spreading from one complex to another. So
talk about the flames, and we understand there may have been some people trapped. Did you hear anything about that?
I didn't hear anything about that. I didn't know anything about that. So I hopefully everybody got out. You know, that's all that's important. You know, it's hopefully everybody's safe. It's just like it seems like right now they're just fighting the blaze. I just hope they can contain it because it feels like it's spreading.
And talk about, you said it started at 1. How has this thing been spreading? Have you seen flames? What have you been seeing happen?
It seems like in the building it just keeps like working its way from building. It's hard to contain a fire. I mean, I don't know much about fire, but it spreads really fast, and there's so many people around watching. I guess it's really dangerous to stay away from the wind or the smoke. You know, I guess which is blowing west. So there's people watching. You know, they got to be careful. Stay out of the smoke wind. Good thing it's not blowing toward our way. And so that's another thing to be careful about.
Looks like a lot of people are going to be homeless from this fire.
Yeah, that's right. The Red Cross, they call the Red Cross. I think there's places for them to go, but it looks like some people, they thought it wasn't going to spread, but then it just keeps spreading. The complex, these buildings are all connected.
Right.
That's what's dangerous, is that they're connected. So I just really hope they contain this fire. But it looks like it's ongoing, it's happening. So it could take them a few more hours, in my opinion.
Very good. What's your name again, sir?
Matthew.
And your last name?
Wagner from Evanston.
Wagner.
What channel is
Thank
this?
you.
Going in.
Okay, can I talk to her real quick?
No problem. Can I?
Did it seem like this fire spread really fast?
Yes, but you can tell we got a pretty good wind pushing on here, and it was pushing right on where the fire was at. And like I said, these mansard roofs, there is no, in modern construction, there's partitions and there's fire breaks and there's that. These buildings are built in the 60s or the 70s. They were not part of the city of Prospect Heights when they were built, so we don't know what the fire codes may have been back then when they were built. but they're not built to the same standards that are built today. And we had a very similar fire like this back in Christmas Eve of 2006, and basically the same thing happened. They got into that mansard roof, spread throughout the structure, and basically destroyed one of the units in the
What kind of roof are we talking about again?
mansard. M-A-N-S-A-R-D, mansard.
And did some of the buildings have to be evacuated?
All the buildings were evacuated. Initially it was the main building, shortly thereafter it was the two adjacent buildings, and presently it's all 4 buildings. And they've been searched several times. We've had some erroneous reports that people were still in there, but those have all been proven to be untrue.
And the River Trails Condominium, there's more than 4 buildings here, right? There's several
Oh yeah,
streets.
this is
Just say it's one
there's
kind of
probably
pod.
3 or 4 more
Yeah.
groupings of this as we go down the line
But
here.
it's just these 4 kind of in this
These are
one.
the only 4 that are affected right now.
And you think the wind kind of helped?
The wind definitely played a role. Nothing we can do about that. Anytime the wind is over 10 miles an hour, it's going to be a problem for firefighters.
Any idea when this thing will get contained?
Several more hours.
Do you know how many people are affected by this fire so far? Can you go over some numbers for us?
I'm not sure exactly how many people, but there are 8 units per floor, 3 floors, so 24 units per building, 4 buildings, so there's 96 units. There's anywhere from 1 to however many people per unit, so it's probably a few hundred people that have been affected by this.
And you had to call in several other communities to
Yes, about 25 other communities. We're all part of a statewide system called MABUS, the Mutual Aid Box Alarm System, and all we have to do is make 1 radio call for help, and it's all pre-programmed. We know exactly who's coming, from where they're coming from, what they're bringing. It works like
You have
clockwork.
about 100 firefighters in there right
About
now?
125
In defensive mode.
in the defensive mode. We're rotating those guys through because they're in that heavy gear. They need to hydrate, have rest breaks so they don't get heat exhaustion.
First and last name, please.
Drew, D-R-E-W, Smith, S-M-I-T-H. And I'm the fire chief in Prospect Heights.
Thank you, sir. Chief, one more time, and can you just tell us, describe those conditions that you guys have been faced with throughout this evening so far? Just talk about, we're seeing the fire still, it's kicking up, it looks like it's darkening down, it kicks up again. What are you guys faced with?
Well, we're faced with a fire that, several things. One, there's compartmentalization. So when you squirt the water in, it's going to hit a wall. Until that wall is destroyed or burns through, the water can't get through the other side. Presently, we're kind of letting the center unit burn because we have limited resources, and we're focused, because we know that's destroyed. There's nothing we can do about that 3rd floor in the center. So we're focused on those 2 sides, and that's where we're putting all the resources at right now. As long as we leave that center portion, because the roof burned off and collapsed in, now all that heat in the center goes up. Before that, when the roof was on, the heat and the smoke is forced to the sides, which is why it's spread into those other 2 units. Also, roofs are designed to keep water out. That's why we have a roof on our home. Until the roof failed, we were challenged with getting water inside. Typically, we'd put firefighters on the roof and cut a hole, but it was too dangerous given the fire conditions. We knew the fire was below the roof and we couldn't put firefighters up there.
Obviously, this is a very dangerous situation. Has anybody been injured so far?
Just 1 firefighter and 2 civilians. The 2 civilians were probably hurt at the time of dispatch, discovering the fire. Most likely, the 1 firefighter was hurt. He was part of the initial arriving crew. Yes, and he worked they're working very hard in those first several minutes. There's only a handful of firefighters there until the reinforcements arrive.
Any indication of what started this fire?
I have no idea.
Very good. Your name and title, say it, spell it one more time.
Fire Chief Drew, D-R-E-W, Smith, S-M-I-T-H, Prospect Heights Fire District.
Not fans?
All right, stay a little bit. Yep.